the ghetto and lately I put that on my father, trying to hope for tomorrow. When I think that I can, I envision Obama, I envision your diamonds, I envision Ferraris. If the world was perfect, all my niggas behind me. Ain't you happy I made it? Man, I'm making a statement. Take a look, and you can tell that I'm destined for greatness. Tell me what you see, looking at me. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
All right. How you guys doing? You guys pumped up? Yeah. How many years have you guys been waiting for this day? 2, 3, 4. All right, well, I'm going to try and get off the stage as quickly as possible because I don't want to take up a minute of this guy's time. You guys, I don't have to talk too much about this guy. You guys already know who he is, what he's accomplished, obviously in the fitness industry. No one has completely dominated an industry like this guy has, probably since Schwarzenegger. But for you guys that don't know, I've been able to spend a little bit of time with him the last 24 hours, and this guy is very, very successful. He's reached that 0.001% of the fitness industry, but also a lot of other ventures, you know, he's done. He was an Army Ranger, which if you guys know, the military is 0.00001. You know, so many people want to get to that level, and in his early 20s, he reached that level, led people out in, I believe, Afghanistan and Korea. So he mastered that. He's obviously mastered the fitness industry. Now he's actually doing a lot of stuff on, as you saw, on TV, acting, and he's also an incredibly successful entrepreneur. But I think, you know, there's a lot of successful people in the world today that have reached the highest levels of success like Greg. But I think the thing that really separates him is the actual, not his financial success, his physical success, but his impact success and the amount of people's lives that this guy's impacted. And, you know, who he has already had a life-changing moment from his videos. All of us. And, you know, I've seen so many incredible transformations from health to mindset to entrepreneurship. And, you know, I think the real special thing about this guy is with all the success he has, he really cares about people and he really wants to leave a big dent in the universe. And by God, this guy's doing that. So huge, huge, huge round of applause for the one and only, one time in Australia, Greg Plitt.
Got work here? All right. Who's that ugly motherfucker? You know, I look back on that, man, I gotta be honest with you. If that's all I do, man, I fucking failed. That's, proud of it, sure. The best I could be at the time. But I hope that's not tomorrow, man. I hope I can beat that. I'm not really worried about beating any of you guys. I just want to beat myself. And how do you do that? I got 4 hours with you guys. You're welcome to leave anytime you want because I'm going to say some stuff that's going to irritate you, it's going to piss you off. I'm going to challenge you. You know, let me know how the shoe fits. If it feels good. And if it doesn't, get a new pair. I'm not going to sugarcoat it because you're not going to get anywhere with that. I'm going to tell you exactly how I went through the struggle, how I'm still going through the struggle, how my biggest struggle is still to come, and I can't wait for that day. That nervousness, the anxiety, the pressure, the animosity, you know, that feeling that you're alive. No drug can replace that. Some people snort up for it, some people, you know, shoot for it. I prefer to sweat for it. And it's something that has given me almost every freedom I could ever imagine. And when you can do it with a collective group of people, I don't see a better high in the world. You gotta earn that. You can't go to Walmart and buy it down off for. You know, and once you earn it, then you have to train it and practice it. It's perishable. Use it or lose it. It's not the kind of thing that once obtained is a trophy that sits there. You know, this thing you always have to practice and test it because everyone's coming up trying to take it from you. How did you build it? You built it on the rock. No matter what the storms of life are, your success, your foundation will weather through that and stand there for the test of time. If you cut the corners in life, cheated the system, was a bullshitter trying to fake it till you make it, eventually that will catch up with you. And all of your hard work will crumble right down. I've never done steroids or anything in my life. I said it to you. let's say in the future, 5 years from now, you guys find out I did. Every one of those things is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 250 more lies. That's a tough thing to swallow. 4 hours with you guys, we're gonna go through a lot of stuff, man. I got a weird philosophy on everything. The mindset, the training philosophies, diet, nutrition, supplementation, the gym, the rest modules, what depression's all about, what fear's all about. We're gonna open up with Q&As, man, but let me tell you a little story, how it all started for me. How did fitness start for me? Growing up, my dad was a professional athlete. My granddad was pro in 2 sports, baseball and hockey. So I came out of the womb with like a ball and a stick in my hand. And I loved it, man, I really did. There was something about going out there and, you know, I didn't live in the era of these video games and shit, you know. I didn't have Nintendo and stuff. I mean, my video game was outside. The sun was up, I was playing ball, and I just loved it. I did it all day long. My buddies were over, and that was life for me, you know. Well, as you get older, you have to go to school and stuff, and you got to study and do academics. And so, in the summertime, you have to like read so many books to prepare yourself for the next grade level. And I just didn't have time to do much of that reading, you know. I was just kind of, just want to play ball. So my dad would come home from work and he's like, how's that supplementary reading going? And I go, I don't know. Fuck, I know you got time for that, Dad. I gotta play ball, man. The sun's still up. He goes, no, I can respect that, man. I really can. I can respect the fact that, you know, you want to, you know, play ball and stuff. And I really do. But your mind's going to get you further than your body. You got to train that first. So here's the deal. I need you to do a half an hour reading every day. You know, then play ball as much as you want. Half an hour reading. And if you don't want to do the reading, okay, it's your decision, your choice. So if you don't want to do the reading, this is what you will do. We had a pool in the backyard. Because you're going to swim 200 laps, do 200 push-ups, 200 sit-ups. And then you're going to run like 3 miles. So my dad thought that was a really easy choice, half an hour reading as opposed to like this 3-hour workout module. Well, in defiance as a young kid, I go, Dad, go fuck yourself, man, I'll take the workout, you know? You ain't got nothing on me. So I did. And so I did it for like a week or 2. My dad comes home, he's like, damn, my little gamble didn't work. So he ups the ante. Now it's like 400 laps, 800 push-ups, 800 sit-ups, run, you know, to the next town and back, you know? And I did. I kept doing that. And what I noticed at a really young age is that hard work pays off. I wanted to do all this in sports, on the fields of friendly strife and competition. And what my dad was doing to me, unknowingly, was training me for the events. So the harder I work here, I decrease the risk of failure, increasing the risk of success on the field. I didn't know that. I wasn't working out for some egotistical thing, you know, bulging biceps or chest or abs or sex appeal, trying to get laid. I didn't even know how to work my dick at the time, you know, so it definitely wasn't about that. But I was quicker, you know, I was faster, you know, I had more energy, you know, my mind-body connection, like, you know, my coordination, I was just kicking ass. No one was keeping up, you know, so I was like, there's something here. And what that was is just basically hard work pays off. Now later we came to an agreement on this reading and shit, you know, we came to terms on that. I saw it as the same competition. You know, you have the opportunity to succeed or fail. And it's under your window, under your roof, how you want to go about it. You know, there's an IPO, stock value to your name, that I always wanted to increase in the sellable market to the industry, right? Well, it wasn't just about a physique. It had to be more about that. It had to be about a mind, a body, a connection, you know, your social skills. Everything kind of combines to the, you know, drawing those lines that form the tapestry of the canvas of your life. So I started training hard, and same with schoolwork. Sure enough, succeeded in that field. But it's all about hard work, failing, learning from it, reapplying the effort to fix that weak chain of life to then succeed. And that's what my dad kind of taught me. So once I started succeeding, I had to keep challenging myself. And the next level, yeah, so you start winning a match in wrestling. Then you have to win the regional tournament, then the state tournament, then the national tournament. And as the competition grew, you know, so did my fear. You know, so did my doubts. And every day you sort of deal with them. And I'll never forget, it was my sophomore year. And I'm backstage, like behind a curtain, and the auditorium was filled with people. And I'm going against the #1 guy in the States. And I was just kind of a young kid at the time. I think I was like ranked 3rd in the state at the time. And I'm back there, it's by myself, I'm just, kind of working it mentally, going through the match, drilling some moves and stuff. And my dad comes back. And he's like, how we doing, man? We ready? We ready? And I'm like, man, I'm fucking nervous, Dad. I'm freaked out. He's like, what you nervous for? I go, what if I lose, man? Everything's riding on this. Not just for me to win the championship, but also the team points. It's all riding on this, man. I feel alone. It's getting hard to breathe. I just don't know. He's like, what are you nervous for? I go, fuck you, man. What do you mean, why am I nervous? If you open your eyes, look at this shit. That's why I'm nervous, man. I don't want to lose, man. He goes, we already lost if you're nervous. I go, what are you talking about, man? And I'm like, you're going to come at me right now with this shit? I'm going through all this, and you're going to come at me and try to give me some philosophy lesson? And he's like, you shouldn't be nervous. If you're nervous, it's because you're not prepared. And I'm like, shut up. And he's like, sit the fuck down. And my dad's bigger than I was, so I either sat down or he put me down. And he's like, I've seen you train. I've seen you go to practice. I've seen you stay up late after practice. I've seen you wake up at 5:30 in the morning when it's pissing rain and run and drill it. All those hours, thousands of them in the lab, training, perfecting it, remastering it, and trying to get it, trying new techniques, training and training with no one watching. I was watching. I've seen you do all that. Today we get to take all that effort, all that energy, and explode it on that motherfucker in front of you today. Today is a celebration of all that hard work. If you're nervous, it's because you haven't done the work. But you've done the work. This is a time to rejoice. It's time to show it all off. And if you fail, it's not because you failed in preparation. It's just that maybe he prepared more. And the thing about life is, you get another day to try. As long as you show up and give it all you got on that day, you can't fail. You can only fail if you show up on that day and you're not ready for it. And that kind of flows with some things. So basically, in a very nervous state, I was taking myself out of the rhythm of it all. I trained harder than anybody, but it doesn't matter how hard you trained or anything else if you don't believe it upstairs. Whatever the truth of society is, underlying truth we all agree upon, I would challenge you to say that's not as powerful as the individual and how they see that truth. And at that point, I was killing it. I was undefeated, didn't have a point scored me all year. I was training, I was like really stellar at the time. But because I was going up against somebody that was #1 or something else, I was losing the match in my head before I even went into it. What was that all about? And my dad came up to me, he goes, you can't be nervous right now. You have nothing to lose, you understand that? You've trained so hard, you are ready for this endeavor. And if you do lose, guess what? You get to then know exactly where your weak points are. So then you go back and start to restudy, rework, and improve those weak points until you test it and fail. Who's ever going to know that your deficiencies are this, this, and this? Until you fail, do we grow? That's the kind of dad I had growing up, man. All about the philosophy, the mindset, and then taking that mindset and then training it in their physical state. Those combine to a mind-body connection, it's almost invincible. I went out there and destroyed the motherfucker. And why did I destroy him? I was about to lose. Same capable person. My mindset was wrong. My dad got in there and talked some sense into me. He let me know I had nothing to lose. So therefore I wasn't timid, I wasn't hesitant. You guys don't know American football, but you know the sport of football, right? Or any physical activity. There's a play about to happen. The running back's going to get the ball or something, right? And they say break, go up to the line. This running back knows he's getting the ball. He's going through the two gap, right? They say hike, they hand the ball to him. If he is nervous and, hesitant to go in there because he's going to get hit, not only is he going to get hit, he's not going to pick up the first down, and most likely he'll get injured. The same exact play with a guy saying, yeah, I'm going to get hit, but instead of getting hit, I'm going to deliver the hit. I'm not going to hesitate. I'm going to go to the fire, to the fight. And when I go there, I'm going to go the force. I'm not going to go there and take the force. I'm going to deliver the force. Most likely you'll pick up the first down. You'll injure that guy. You won't get injured. And you'll be successful. I was getting intimidated by myself. So it's this mindset thing that's really weird. It's this self-paralysis, fear that comes into us that robs us of our true potential. This fear is a self-imposed thing. It's an intangible. You can't touch it, feel it, or anything else. It's there. You create it. And again, it's the perception on how you see something. And you're having the worst day of your life. Everything's going wrong. You wish you stayed in bed. All of a sudden the phone rings, right? You pick it up and what's on the other end of the phone? Great news. What is that good news? You got a promotion. You know, your mom's cancer is in remission. It's a hot girl that just broke up with a boyfriend is now available. Whatever it is, you hang up the phone and right before that phone call, you were just like you're still in your pajamas. You're just head down. Maybe you're crying. I don't know what you're doing, man. We all do different things. But this phone rings and all of a sudden you hang it up and you're like, man, let's go do something. Let's go to the gym. I just want to go live. What the fuck happened there? There's no power that came through the phone that empowered your body. You're the same capable person before or after that phone call. What's changed is your perception on it. Same shitty day, but now you see it with possibilities. And those possibilities, guys, you fucking control. You always have control. No one can give them to you. No one can take them away from you. Only you can do that. And the more you put yourself to the fire, the more you put yourself onto that competition where all the pressure's on, the more times you go to the gym when no one else is at the gym, the more times you get up in the middle of the night and you study for the test, the more times you tell everybody, hey guys, I'm going to go on this marathon in 3 months. People are like, you never even run a mile before. I'm going to do it. The more time you put your name out there, you start to test the indomitable will, the confidence of yourself. And then what's mundane to you and simplistic is your neighbor's biggest fear in life, and they can't even think about it. It scares the shit out of them. But you're running, imagine two fighters. You guys like MMA fighters, right? Yeah, so these guys train this all the time. They're in the ring, they're fighting with each other, they're learning the punches, and they're getting really cohesive with the fight. They're learning it all. They're learning how to perform when they're short on oxygen. When their legs are getting heavy and their lungs are bleeding, they learn to perform under that stress, right? So when they see the punch, they know how to react. They train and they train and they train it. And they become really proficient. Take that guy out at a bar where a bar fight happens, right? And then take this guy over here that plays video games. So this one guy picks a fight with a fighter. He turns around, and most guys, what do? They push. They push. Every fight I've ever been in, tough guy will push. He wants to get an asthma check. He wants to see your temperature. He wants to try to scare you out of submission. He's basically saying he's scared shitless, doesn't want to be here. He's trying to act tough to make you walk away real fast. If he pushes me or pushes the fighter or something else, he'll push and they get knocked the fuck out. There's no push back. It's done at that point. But most people, if they go to punch you or something like that, the guy who plays video games, they've already became to a self-paralysis state because the pressure of the situation is so foreign to them and so scary to them that they don't even know how to move to defend themselves. And they basically almost go unconscious without even being hit because it scares the living crap out of them. But that person born in this world is the same as a fighter. One trained, one not trained. The person that's trained sees that, doesn't get worked up, controls his emotions, controls his actions, applies what he's learned to the situation, and maneuvers away from it successfully. That ability, that day, that opportunity is coming for every single one of you in the near future. It's coming for me. Are you going to be ready for it? Because there is no luck in this world, guys. Get rid of that. There is no such thing as luck. A successful module doesn't have anything in it you can't control and repeat. You can't repeat luck. Just the word luck, guys, is a universal term. Meaning you hear good luck, you hear bad luck, you hear dumb luck. Which luck's coming your way when you need it? You can't control it, it doesn't exist, you can't rely on it. Steroids, for example, well, I'll get into that later. You can't rely on that either. Because one day your body's going to reject it, and that's the day you have to perform, and who are you then? Your name's on the line, you can't deliver it. What luck is this? And this is the only part of luck. Some people that are doing auditions and getting movie roles, that lucky break at the checkout stand at a store and someone says, hey, we need you here, or the girl gets good head to the director and gets that lucky break to get in the movie. I don't know, you can't, eventually, I don't care how good looking the girl is, someone's tired of having sex with her, eventually that director will move on to somebody else. You can't repeat that scenario. What can you repeat? What you can control. And what is that? taking your talents and ability to something you're passionate about. And like my dad said when I was wrestling, you're training it. And then you try to master it, and you remaster it, and you retrain it with no one watching. And you become the master subject matter expert in all facets of that ability. And then you await the opportunity. That's the luck when your talent crosses paths with an opportunity to show it off. And when it shows off, are you going to be ready for it? Or are you going to be like me before the wrestling match, timid? You know, where I had the ability, but now I didn't have the mindset. It's more than just training the body, it's training the mind. How do you train the mind? That's perishable too. You put yourself in situations that are scary outside of your realm. You start to work that. Every single going to the hot girl, asking her out. You're not ready for that. I might get rejected. You know what? Well, you might win. Who cares? Get rid of the failure. In this world of success, everybody that ever succeeds something, that's all history remembers is their success. No one remembers and it calculates all their failures to success. It's just that they show up and achieve it eventually. That's what luck is. Mastering something and then showing it off when the opportunities collide. Everyone's going to have an opportunity. Most people are like the guy in the video game. You know, when that fight happens, they go into a self-paralysis state. They don't even know how to defend themselves. So they're just, you know, and that's when the parade's marching by, you know, with a seat for you to be the man you always wanted to be. But you didn't train it when you had the time. I always thought I'd have another day. I'll go out and party tonight. I'll go out and party. Somebody's training. Somebody's killing it right now. Why? Because they're already there mentally. They already believe that they are that person. They're just right now getting their body ready so when that does come, they take advantage of the opportunity. That's the only difference. All this shit up here, there's people a hell of a lot better than me. Hell of a lot more potential. Hell of a lot better at genetics. Just lack the perseverance that I have. That's the only reason why I'm up there. How do you get, you know, over 250 covers in 10 years? How do you do that? I was on the cover every single month for over 5.5 years. That's like unheard of. You look at me, I don't look any different. I'm looking right here. This guy's in better shape than me. There's nobody in here with a stronger mindset that wants it bad enough. That's the differential. The fucking want factor. Who wants it bad enough? Who wants to fail over and over and over again? Because when you fail, even if you lose that wrestling match, what happens? I get to discover where my weaknesses lie. So when I go to the gym, I train my weak points to bring it all up to an even code. You know, you're not that guy with the ego trying to impress a third party. Going in there, yeah. How many people have done this? Be honest. Well, actually, you need to raise your hands, but how many people have done this? So, going to the gym today. Go work my legs, you know, it's my weak area, my legs, I hate that. I don't look so strong, that's why I'm gonna go late at night so no one's there, you know? So I'm gonna go there, hit my legs, and anyway, so walking in there, it's like, man, yeah. Oh well, let's get it done. But Sally's there, the girl you've had your eye on for so long. Whoa, wait a second. Nope, not gonna be leg day tonight. I'm gonna have to hit arms, baby. Sally's there. And by the way, I know the bicep machine's right here, but she's over there, so I'm gonna make a whole new exercise. I'm gonna come over here and just hit, what's up? Hey, Sally, I didn't see you there. Sally owns your ass. Owns your ass, your future, and your confidence. Why? She has robbed you of an opportunity that you might not get again. You're trying to impress her, right? Trust me, stop following the herds, guys. Stop trying to impress a third party's objective nature. Stop giving them value. They don't pay your bills. Why give them any value? You want to get them all to respect you? You want to get Sally to follow you? Follow your true path. What's inside? What is the belief? Two types of confidence. There's an ego, which is a negative confidence. There's an internal positive confidence called pride. You nourish that pride. You follow your path. Sometimes that path will be a beaten path. Sometimes it'll be a path less traveled. Sometimes it'll be a path that's so dark and so rocky and steep that it'll scare you. Don't get scared then, smile. Because in the world's universe, it's preparing you for something. When you're going down your own path and you're believing in it, right? And you're doing everything you think is right, and all of a sudden everything starts to go wrong. You're like, what am I doing to cause all this? You're doing it all right, guys. That's why it's happening. What am I talking about? If there's a higher power, which I believe in, they're preparing you for what you're about to achieve. Because with accomplishments comes a responsibility, Roman. And that responsibility isn't a physical state. Yes, you have the ability, you're kicking ass. You have the ability to physically achieve it. But do you have the ability mentally to endure it? So all these things start to hit you, stress points, you know? Maybe your mom's getting sick or something, or you just got fired, you got this, all of a sudden you just got the flu. Do you stay true to all this, or do you allow the external momentary lapse of reason to rob you of where you're going? All those things are happening for a reason, to make sure you mentally can endure it. Because once you do endure it, guys, I'll give you a little taste of what I go through. I get these things, and with every single one of them comes just hatred, man. Hatred. With success, many will love you. The majority will fucking despise you. And why is that? Because your success is shining down on their missed opportunities when they weren't the man, when they didn't put all those thousands of hours in the lab with no one watching. So when the opportunity did come to show off what they'd mastered and trained, they weren't ready for it. They were in a self-paralysis state, and they watched it go by, hoping it comes again. I don't know if it comes again. Some people never even get it once. But for people that want it bad enough, they follow that belief, that pride, that drive, the pride of who they are, right? And as they start to make waves, slowly all the hatred goes away and the respect comes in, you know? And then Sally comes running to you. And not just Sally, Megan, Amanda, you've got choices now. How about that? That's pretty cool. How do you get those choices? Because you mastered yourself. When the plane of life is going down, guys, you got to put your mask on first before you can really lend aid to somebody else. That's not being selfish. That's being a role model. Because you're no good to anybody if you're down on the ground. You can't help anybody there. You know, these cliches of life. You got to love yourself in order to love somebody else, if you ain't puking, you ain't training, all these stupid lines. I mean, there's truth in them, though. There's really truth in it.